She met him on Tinder.
I can see you vetted him very well.
He had more to his bio than she bargained for.
How many times have you been convicted?
Probably like 3 times.
And now she's paying the price.
I leave, I come back, he's gone, money's gone.
How much money was gone?
It was exactly $2,700.
All this and more on Court's Craziest Cases. There's nothing worse in this world than someone who thinks you're a complete idiot and decides to abuse your trust, right to your face, without an ounce of shame whatsoever. And that's exactly what happened to Tayah Stryker, a 20-year-old girl who met a convicted criminal on our favourite dating app, Tinder. And to the surprise of no one...
So one fine day in September 29 of 2019, what happened?
So I told him that I want to go out and get food, and he told me that he wanted to just hang back and nap. Didn't sound like it was any type of off to me at the time and everything, so went on to go get food by myself, left him in my room. And beforehand, he had seen where I kept my cash and everything like that, because I just kept thousands of dollars that I had worked for and everything like that since I was 16 years old.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Because inquiring minds want to know. How old did you say you were?
I'm 20 years old now.
Okay, so you've been saving this money for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so what you do is count it in front of a guy you met in Tinder 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I know, I'm aware.
All right, let's get serious for a sec here. A lot of us in the comments of our last video shared stories from our childhoods and how we didn't have much money growing up. And here we have young Tayah, brimming with potential and optimism, casually flaunting a couple of grand in front of someone who's essentially a stranger. I don't want to sound like a broken record, you know my backstory, meager means and all that, but did anyone else here ever find themselves just staring at their money as a kid whenever they happened to have it, counting it over and over even though you knew exactly how much was there? It kind of made me feel like I had more than I actually had, even though it was barely anything really. If my mum's mate slipped me a $5 for my birthday, I'd cradle it in my tiny hands, inspecting it from every angle, giving it a little shuffle just to savour the sound. And on those rare occasions when I had more than one note, I'd line them up meticulously, examining every detail in their prints. Me and my mates used to do this thing called the Queen's Bum, where we'd fold a note around Her Majesty's chin until it looked like a bum. Anyway, I'd spend hours daydreaming about the things I could buy with that tiny little $5, endlessly flipping through the toy section in catalogues. So don't hold back in the comments if you can relate to this. It might sound a bit cheesy, but you never know, your story might strike a chord with someone reading through the comments, as did these comments in our last video. I was raised very poor. One pair of shoes. If I went outside to play after school, I went barefooted. Shoes were for school only. When it rained, we played a game called Squeeze. We took turns wringing out the towels that soaked up the rainwater when it came in through the windows. We had a section of the floor that we had to jump over or fall through. I loved my childhood. It taught me to appreciate everything I have now. I own nice cars now and a large property with no mortgage. It really showed me that I didn't need a lot of expensive things until I could afford them. Everyone should grow up dirt poor. Then there's this one. I grew up poor as well. I never had fast food until I was a teenager and started to work. We never went to restaurants as a family. I had some horrible clothes as well. Those days are gone, but made me who I am today. Now I have a penthouse in Manhattan, live like a king, and I'm still pretty frugal on most things. But being poor made me work hard to get where I am now. And one more before we move on. I grew up semi-poor. My mother was a single mother of 3, all of us close in age. She had 3 jobs and her highest earning job was about $28K a year. This was in the 80s and 90s. We didn't have money for a computer, or for anything for that matter. I was a bad kid at the time, kinda acting out, you know, skipping school, stealing stuff, that sort of thing. Nothing violent or anything. But then one day in the summer, I found something in a dumpster. It was an old computer, monitor, keyboard and all. Windows 3.1. I didn't steal it, I swear. But when my mum came home that day, exhausted, she thought I had. We had that computer for 4 years, and it changed my life. All for the better. So why is it she decided to count her money in front of this guy? Was it a power move? Was she trying to impress her date, showing that she's not destitute and that her life is somewhat in order? Friends, in the comment section, demystify this behavior for us. Tell us, why do you think she counted her life savings in front of this guy? Now, it gets worse though, because what she does next will shock you so hard, you might just let off some trapped wind.
And what happens?
I leave, I come back, he's gone, money's gone.
How much money was gone?
It was exactly $2,700.
How do you know?
Because we had counted it earlier that day.
Well, who's we?
Me and him.
Why'd you count it with him?
Because I wanted to see how much money I'd had and I didn't want to.
So it's worse than that. It's not that you left the guy you met on Tinder alone in your room and he searched it. It's not that you left the guy you met on Tinder alone in a room and he saw you maneuvering towards it. It's that you literally put a bunch of arrows on the money and said, here, let's count my money. Let's count my money.
I'm aware of how bad it looks and everything like that, but I just didn't expect the worst.
Why? Because you knew him all of 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Now, call me old-fashioned, but leaving a stranger you just met online at home alone after they'd just been eyeballing your stash like it's the last cookie in a cookie jar is just asking for trouble, ain't it? I mean, she practically rolled out the red carpet for him to nab that cash and do a runner. So, folks in the comments, have you ever had anything stolen from right under your nose? Because I was mugged once, would you believe? I know. I hear you yelling at your screens. How could this behemoth of a man, this untouchable specimen of masculine prowess, ever get ambushed on the streets of ye olde London? Picture this, yours truly, a strapping young lad, immeasurably attractive, was called to the back of a bus by two thugs. They asked me what phone I had, and when I took it out of my pocket, the bigger guy calmly lifted it out of my hand, gave me my SIM card back, and with a polite nod, said I could go. Now, there's a difference between being brave and being stupid. Phones are mass-produced. Your safety and well-being isn't. You can always buy another phone, but you can't buy another life. Does that make sense? So what pearls of wisdom does Erick, our resident cash flasher, have to offer in his defense?
Did you take her money?
I'm not gonna lie, like we were talking about the whole like money situation and like, you know, like I need to pay child support and like my fines and stuff. And like she was gonna help me.
What fines?
Like I have a lot of like court fines and stuff.
For what?
Like, I still have like this credit card fraud charge. So like I'm going through that still. And
well, you're not going through that. You owe that. Nobody's doing something terrible to you. All right, so you have a credit card fraud charge of how much?
The total's probably like around like 3,000, 4,000.
Okay, and who did you defraud for the 3,000 and 4,000? Girl you met on Tinder?
No,
Who's the victim in that case?
I don't even know. I just found a card on the floor and used it.
Did he just say he's got child support to pay on top of court fines? How can someone be this irresponsible? He really needs to get his priorities straight because his kid's now the victim here. And this Tayah's shown some peak levels of stupidity, I'll tell you that much. I actually think it's unfair to call someone stupid because I think everyone's smart in their own way. But this is completely indefensible. Is this what being young and dumb looks like? Or is it down to shoddy parenting? I mean, her mum was sat there in the background giggling to herself throughout the whole thing. It's actually baffling just how casually they're all treating this. But then again, looking at Tayah's behaviour, it's hardly surprising, is it? So she ends up begging Erick over texts and phone calls to give her her money back. But would it surprise you if I said this wasn't the first time she went through this?
Oh, this isn't your first time?
I had a situation with another ex.
Yeah, what was it? Tell us all about it.
Well, then that situation, he wanted to borrow some money and stuff like that I had handed to him.
That
Not
other
handed to
boyfriend?
him, yeah.
You had handed him the money?
Yeah.
And did that boyfriend pay you back?
No.
And how much money was that?
$500.
She manages to get around half her money back, and after all the back and forth trying to get him to be a decent human being and give her what she's owed, she does this.
I wanted to meet up with him. Anything after that was just trying to...
Did you go over there?
I think I did, yeah.
What'd you do?
I was trying to talk to him.
And do what? Get back together?
No, I was trying to talk to him about the money.
We had
So this guy's a criminal.
How many times have you been convicted?
probably like 3 times.
And a flat-out liar.
I need you to come back with my money. I need it back. I cannot help you like this. You didn't even tell me about your gun charge, and you used me to help fix it? Oh, gun charge? Oh, tell me about the gun charge.
That was just a thing that I just said to her. Like, I just said it to her.
Oh, you don't really have a gun charge?
No.
You have the credit card fraud charge?
Yeah.
So why would you say gun charge? Because you didn't want to say, please, I have a credit card fraud charge?
She already knew about, like, everything.
Well, then why did you make up a second charge? It's a gun charge.
I just said it. I don't know.
He just said it, just like he just said how much he loved her.
I do care about you. I will. I do everything in my power to help you. I love you, girl. I need you to come back right now. Later, babe. I can't right now. Oh my gosh.
Ladies in the comments, please tell us why a gal would sleep with someone who ripped her off and treated her like an idiot. Why do girls insist on getting with guys like him? Why do girls have an insatiable hunger to be walked all over by delinquents? This question really is the meat and potatoes of this video. This is the question we all want answers to. It's why Tayah's knee deep in this mess, and why half the decent guys around the world are scratching their nuts in utter confusion. Throughout this entire case, Tayah gets lectured over and over by Judge Marilyn.
Because we don't count $3,000 in front of a guy we met on Tinder 3 weeks ago and leave him alone with our $3,000 that we just counted in a cookie jar. No need to be afraid of it. You just need to have all those brain cells in your head. Hold hands. And you know why he thought that? Because you acted like a bimbo. And it has nothing to do with Tinder. You were acting like a dummy. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about how you meet guys or what you choose to do. You be you, girl. Okay? But be you with connected brain cells. Okay? You don't count money in front of some guy you knew 2 weeks. Are you crazy?
And no one in the courtroom other than the judge takes this thing seriously. That is, until this happened.
Why are you having anything else to do with him?
I know, I'm aware. Because I was also trying to get...
I think that you need to look deep within your soul and figure out why you don't like you. What happened in your life that would make you think the only way you can keep a man is if you do these things that you're doing? It's crazy, girl. And you've got to fix you because you're too young to have no confidence, too young and too pretty to have no confidence like this.
This has got to be the most insightful moment in the entire case. This is the one time anyone takes this thing seriously. You can see Tayah tries to shake it off with a smirk at first, but Judge Marilyn eventually breaks through and Tayah is unable to hold back her tears.
I find that you owe her the remaining $1,400. I find that you are a liar and a thief, and I am ordering you to pay her back $1,400. I gotta tell you, it kills me because what I would like to do is fine you $1,400 for stupidity, but I can't because all I've gotta do is look at this and say, where did that money belong? And the money belongs with you. But I cannot tell you enough times or in enough ways that he's just a thief and a taker. I'm not worried about him. He'll just take what he wants. He'll burglarize houses. He'll cheat with credit cards. He'll steal people's credit cards. He'll steal your money. If you want any hope for you, you've got to make sure that you figure out who you're going to date and trust. Got it? Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Verdict for the plaintiff.
This is a clear, open and shut case, Johnson, but look at how Erick just shakes this all off.
So the defendant has been ordered to give back the money to the plaintiff. What do you think about what the judge just had to say to you and what just went on?
I don't know, man.
She wasn't on my side, but it's all right, though, you feel me? Because I know she's still going to hit me up, you know?
And you know what? She probably will. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode. It looks like we're turning into a proper YouTube channel now. We've gone past that 2K subs mark. And our last video got almost 500,000 views. So yeah, man, thank you so much for all the likes and the shares and the kind words you've been leaving me. You guys are literally changing my life in ways I cannot begin to explain. Anyway, I genuinely wish you guys all the best and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. This is a clear, open and shut case, Johnson, but look at how Erick just shakes this all off. Ooh, this is a nice way to hold the mic. I think I might hold it like this from now on. Yes, yes.